You're listening to the Ask Drone U podcast. You ask, we answer your drone questions. Whether you're here to turn your passion into profit or you simply fly for fun, we're a community of learners and teachers who aspire to achieve greatness. We are
Drone U.
Well, how diddly do? Just kidding. Welcome to another show of Ask Drone U. My name is Paul.
And my name is Rob, and yes, indeed, welcome. Thank you, as always, for spending a couple of minutes of your day, maybe a few, with us. We do appreciate it every single time.
Or 8 hours in bed. However you listen, that's cool with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, someone said recently.
No kidding.
Yes.
Well, who are we to judge?
We are not here to judge. Oh, definitely not here to judge, but we are here to be animated, as
if you'll allow us.
Mr. Paul Beatrice says. He's just as animated as in person as he is on the show.
Oh, that's funny.
It's like, well, this is me.
Just a little spunk, that's all.
Yep.
Trying to have a good time.
Definitely. Well, I totally forget what we're talking about on this show, but if you have a chance to give us a thank you for the information we provide, which, by the way, thank you for even listening. We really do appreciate it. Mm-hmm. If you could leave us a review on iTunes, Stitcher, Overcast, or wherever you download podcasts, we would greatly appreciate that. In addition, you can subscribe on any of those platforms and be the first to get our shows. In addition, if you want to know when the cool new big shows come out, you can go to droneu.education and sign up for our newsletter and find out when all the cool stuff is coming out. So anyway, let's move into today's question, which is brought to you by our friends at GPC. If you want a case for your drone, go to goprofessionalcases.com. Check them out. Why? Because you can get a discount. Just use discount code DRONEU15 to save on any of their awesome cases that you often see me take pictures of while I'm on the road. Check them out.
Hey Drone U, my name's Darren here in the UK. I've been a follower of your podcast for a few months now, and it's helped me start a business over here in real estate videography. The question I have is, some properties in the UK are dual listed, meaning they're advertised by more than one realtor. If Realtor 1 asks me to create a video for the property which they are paying for, let's say, for argument's sake, £500, what do I do when Realtor number 2 or number 3 asks me for the same video? If I say no, that's clearly not good for business and they'll go elsewhere, increasing the competition for myself. If I say yes, how much do I charge them, and how do I keep agent 1 happy, as they were probably wanting to stand out from their competition, so they need some sort of incentive for being the first one to be using me. Looking forward to hearing your views. Thanks for the help.
Thank you, Darren. We appreciate you sending in the question. And as Paul mentioned, I believe if you have a question, go to askdroneu.com and get that in. We'd love to hear from you as well. First of all, I'm just fascinated by this discovery. I had no idea it was this way in the UK.
Okay, I'm going to be real with you. I know that they do this in Santa Fe, too. I have a
Do
realtor,
they really?
I have a realtor who does the same thing. They work with Sotheby's, and this is KW, and they often try to market them from different angles, and they split the commission if it works out. And
So that's probably more, I don't know. And
But
you can
what
correct
they
me. That's
do-
probably more of like a co-marketing agreement.
You know what? I think it is, and honestly, I've probably been screwed on that end, if you want to know the truth. Because as I think about it, I'm like, I really should just charge both of them. Like, this is BS. Like, I got taken for a ride.
Well, who knows? Live and learn, perhaps.
true.
Maybe this is an example of that. But
Hey,
so
no one's
before
a
we get
perfect
into
sales
answering
guy.
his question, I'm fascinated because it seems like a really good thing for the buyer. Because you're going to have those realtors, boy, they're going to hustle to get that thing sold, because I would assume that the agreement with each one says that if you sell it, you get the commission, you others don't get anything. I'm just guessing, speculating, because I'm so fascinated by that, having been in the real estate industry for a long, long time ourselves. But as it relates to your question, it actually is challenging. I mean, I don't think there's a cut and dry answer to this question. You're going to have to, one thing that comes to mind is I would have really tight agreements. And so figure out what you want to do up front, because there are different ways that you can go with this. But I'd have really tight agreements, and I would make sure that whenever you get into an agreement to offer services to one of these realtors, they understand that you still have these options, or that you're giving it to them solely. Whatever you decide to do, make sure it's written out and very clearly understood and agreed to by that person. You don't want any surprises, is the bottom line. But as far as using this to your advantage, and ultimately pulling in all three of them up front. I know that's something that you've done with other people in the past, right? The rule of threes, as you like to call it.
That is true. What I like to do, and I actually learned this from Vic, is that if you have multiple clients who are interested in the same thing, you can offer, to change the branding a little bit. But what you do is essentially you offer the video to all three realtors, kind of up front instead of waiting for them to get the same video. What you do is you say, well, okay, each of you will have to pay for the video, but what I'm going to do is give you all of you a discount. This way, each realtor only pays 75% of the cost as a whole. So let's say you sold the video for $1,000. I'm just throwing out numbers here. They have no meaning on the value of your videos. So you say, okay, I'll sell you the video for $750. I'll sell you the video for $750, and I'll sell you the video for $750. And I'll put your personal branding in each one. So it's not just the same video, but it's actually branded for you. Then what you do is you collect $750 from each person, and instead of getting, say, $1,000 for one video and then just selling another license, you're offering them a little bit more. And instead of taking in $1,000 plus extra licenses, whatever you would charge, maybe $300 to $500 each, you actually make a little bit more money by taking in $2,250. So
Sure.
It's a way to really help sell your products and let multiple people use them. This is something that I've done in the past, and I highly recommend that other people do it as well.
Yeah, and let's say that you don't know who those three realtors are going to be. So again, not knowing how this process works specifically, you could write into your contract with the realtor that you're offering the services for that if they pay X amount, then they will have it exclusively.
Exactly, which is another way to do less work and get paid more and say, hey, I'll do this exclusively for you for $2,000.
Yeah, so $2,000 if you want it exclusive. However, I understand that in our economy, obviously, you're not going to have to articulate this because everybody knows, but in our economy, multiple realtors will be listing this house. So if you don't care about exclusivity, we'll just know that it's only going to be $1,000 for you, but these other folks are going to have the opportunity to buy it and use it as well. So again, if you make that understanding very, very clear up front, I think you're going to be fine whatever direction you decide to go.
True.
So that's kind of the way I would look at it. I mean, I think if it were me, that's probably the way I would approach it, Paul, is this is what you can pay if you want it exclusively. But if not, understand I can sell it to these other folks, but you get it for this.
You get it for this, and the value is kind of degraded by selling it to the other folks.
Yeah.
And you can't be afraid, again, I go back to the book, Never Split the Difference. You've got to use leverage in the right ways. If you're not getting, there's different types of leverage, positive leverage, negative leverage. And by saying that, I will do this video exclusively for you, and if we give it to other people, will I make a little bit more money? Yeah, but the value will be less. So essentially you're saying that if the video has less value because it's being used by different people, you're using negative leverage to say essentially like, well, you can buy this video for X, but I'm going to sell it to other people, or you can buy it for Y and have everything, specific to you, and we'll make an agreement to say that I won't sell it to the other people.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is that worth? $3,000?
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, your market will dictate what that's worth. And it's something else that comes to mind is if you do have that exclusivity option for realtors, and so you're in this scenario where you've sold it to one realtor, but they've paid for exclusivity, the other realtors are asking you for it, and you're saying, I'm sorry, but I can't give it to you because I have an exclusivity agreement with realtor A. My hunch is that creates a competitive nature in those other realtors to where they're going to want to get to you first on the next house and get your services for themselves and be able to cut the other realtors out. So perhaps it could benefit you from a competitive standpoint as other realtors are wanting your services and they're wanting to get them first before anybody else can get to you, particularly if you're good.
Yeah, you make so many good points, Rob. You're the business master.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm
Anyways,
really excited for your business course that's coming out here pretty soon.
I am too. I'm excited to see what it turned out like, and I'm excited to improve on it and just make it better. And
it's like the equivalent of like 10 of our courses combined.
It got really long,
Big.
but that's because it's just beginning to end.
Nope.
Definitely not any BS, I hope. Some people might disagree with that.
I've learned a lot, and our producer came up to me and was like, I just want you to know that I've learned more about business from Rob than I did in my entire master's degree.
Wow. That's a nice compliment.
So there's some value added.
Yeah, that's pretty
now
cool.
let that head of yours blow up, get a little bit more shiny. That way we can do another show. So anyway, that is going to do it for us today. If you have a question, go to askdroney.com. And if you have 30 seconds of your time, please leave us a review. And if you want to become a part of this epic community that just really enjoys helping each other out and enjoys lifelong learning, which I just read in the compound effect, that is one of the key indicators for someone who's going to be successful over time. So are you willing to learn? Is your educational entertainment ratio equal? Because if you're watching TV for 3 hours a day, are you spending 3 hours a day learning and bettering yourself? Just a question, food for thought. That's going to do it for us today. My name is Paul.
I'm Rob.
This is Ask Drone U.